go into the crowd. Sir, why are you here? What are you doing here? And then I have the epiphany of my life. I'm talking to my dad. My dad was born in 1935, but these people are born in 1965. They're born in 1975. It's the same person, okay? Uneducated, eager to work, want to live the American dream, aspirational people, but they're feeling desperational. I grew up in a working class, aspirational, blue-collar family. But in 35 years, we took that group of people and we turned them into economically desperational. I worked for Romney. I was with Walker. And my friends were with Jeb, so I was going to eventually go to Jeb. Trump had the Apprentice finale, and I believe that was in March of 2015. So he invited me to breakfast the morning after the Apprentice finale. Right. Okay, so let me set the scene. Okay, you and I are roughly the same height. We're on the same basketball team.
We see eye to eye. Yeah.
We see eye to eye.
Yeah.
So if you go to Trump's office on the 26th floor of Trump Tower, his desk is here. Your chair is there, and I'm already small, so I'm like looking up at him, and he's like, "Hey, great to see you." You know, and I had socialized with him. You know, we had.
But you didn't really know him very well.
Enough, you know, because we both worked for NBC. I was at CNBC at the time.
Do you know Ivanka and Jared?
I didn't really know them until the campaign started, but I had gone to Robin Hood with Trump a few times. I had gone to Yankee Stadium with him because he was tight with Giuliani.
You didn't do the Miss America competition with him?
I didn't, no. No, I didn't.
Okay,
Nobody's peed on me or anything like that. Okay. And then I went to the Yankee games with him and Giuliani.
Right.
Okay, so I did know him, but nobody's friends with Trump. If somebody tells you they're friends with Trump, they either don't understand the relationship or they're trying to exaggerate their relationship. Nobody's friends with the guy. Okay, so he invites me. Let me set the scene. It is the morning after The Apprentice, okay? I'm sitting there looking up at him. He says, "I was great last night. Wasn't I great?" And I'm like, "Great at what?" He goes, "You didn't watch The Apprentice last night? It was the finale. You didn't watch The Apprentice?" I said, "No, I didn't watch The Apprentice." He goes, "You were the only one. The ratings were off the hook." And he says to me, "But, you know, that's over now. My television career's over. I'm running for president." Okay, I literally laughed at him. Okay, I looked at him. I said, "You're not running for president. I mean, stop." Okay, and he said, "No, I'm running for president." I said, "Well, you were doing The Apprentice. I was watching Fox News. You're at 2% in the polls. You're doing this for publicity." He said something to me I'll never forget. He said, "No, you understand something. People are like you. They're not taking me seriously, but I'm really running for president. And when I run for president, I'm going to go to the top of the polls." And I'm going to stay there until I win. Literally laughed in his face. Shows you how politically naive I am. And he said, "I know you're with Walker, but when Walker drops out of the race, I want you to join my campaign. You don't have to give me any money. You're good on television. I want you to help me." And I said, "Well, I can't do that because I've got a relationship with Jeb Bush. He has low energy, doesn't he? Don't you think he has low energy?" I said, "No, I actually don't think he has low energy." He said, "I think he has low energy. He's going to get knocked out of the race too."
I think Trump was right on that, actually.
When he gets knocked out of the race, will you join my campaign? I looked at him and said, "I'll tell you what, if you knock Bush and Walker out of the race, I'll join your campaign." Okay? South Carolina primaries, Bush drops out of the race. Trump calls me the next day, okay, and I go to see him with Scott Brown. Now, I don't know if you guys would know him. We were talking about Massachusetts. Scott was the senator from Massachusetts. He took over for Ted Kennedy. He beat Martha Coakley, and he was a Republican, but he also went to Tufts with me. And so we went to see Trump together. I mean, if there was a camera on that meeting, it was a little bit of a bizarre, hysterical meeting. And we were laying out how we could raise money for Trump and how we could work on the campaign. He then said to me, "I want you to be the finance chair." And I said, "No, I don't want to be the finance chair," because I was hosting Wall Street Week for Fox at the time.
Which was a concept that you developed.
Yeah, well, I bought it from Louis Rockefeller.
And you sold it into Fox.
I sold it into Fox. Roger Ailes made me the host, and it was a lot of fun for me. I didn't want to give that up.
Yeah.
And so Stephen Mnuchin, who's somebody I knew forever, he said, "What about Stephen?" I said, "He's great. I'll work for Stephen. I'll help him with the Romney list, the Bush list, and everything." And then he said to me, "Okay, great. I want you to come on the campaign trail with me. And this is an important part of the story, so you should really listen to this part of the story. If you don't remember anything else that I say tonight, please remember this, okay? We go to Albuquerque, New Mexico. It's May of 2016. This is my first campaign stop with Trump. And I see people, ladies and gentlemen, there were no people on the Jeb Bush campaign, okay? We see people. I'm not talking about a little bit of people, Sir Martin. I'm talking about thousands of people. Okay, the cops are waiting for Trump. He's coming off of the Trump plane. The cops want to take selfies. Trump is asking them, excuse me, is there a Jimmy John's anywhere near here? That's like a fast food sandwich place. And they're like, is there a Jimmy John's anywhere? They're trying to find him a Jimmy John's. Couldn't find him a Jimmy John's. What about Burger King? I would like to get some onion rings from Burger King. They're ordering Trump onion rings from Burger King on the tarmac, okay? We now go to the Albuquerque, New Mexico Civic Center. 9,000 people max capacity in the Civic Center, 5,000 people in the overflow with the flat screens. The Secret Service hands me one of those like lapel pins, right? Yeah. I'm like, sir, what is that? He goes, oh, well, if the shooting starts, we know you're with us. We won't shoot. I'm like fucking going like this. You know, okay? But now, I'm an intellectually curious person. I take the pin off, put it in my pocket, step over the security perimeter, and I go into the crowd. Sir, why are you here? What are you doing here? And then I have the epiphany of my life. I'm talking to my dad. My dad was born in 1935, but these people are born in 1965. They're born in 1975. It's the same person, okay? Uneducated, eager to work, want to live the American dream, aspirational people, but they're feeling desperational. I grew up in a working class, aspirational, blue-collar family. But in 35 years, Sir Martin, we took that group of people and we turned them into economically desperational. Okay, you have to understand that, ladies and gentlemen, to understand the problem, the systemic problem that's happening in America.
All right.
And
so,
by the way, like or dislike Trump, he saw that. Okay.
So why can't he do it again in 24?
We'll get there, but I just want to finish this 2 sentences. I come backstage, I say, you know, Mr. Trump, those people are like my dad. Okay. And one guy said something I will never forget. He said, Anthony, you think you're in New Mexico? No. New Mexico? That would be Mexico. Because that's where the factory that was once here moved to. And since the signing of NAFTA, we lost 65,000 factories off the shore of the United States. And this was a guy that had 2 jobs, Domino's Pizza, and he was working at Lowe's, the home improvement company, and he wanted to work for his family. Okay, and so then we got back on the campaign plane. We were heading for Tom Barrack's house to do a big fundraiser in Beverly Hills or Brentwood or somewhere where it was. And I looked up on the internet my dad's local union and what the wages were for an operating engineer in 2016. And then I figured out what my dad's wages were in 1976, and I turned to Mr. Trump and I said, these wages on real economic terms are down about 25%. So yes, the nominal number is up, but the purchasing power is down. I lived decidedly in the middle class. I would never dishonor my dad.
Yeah, but put another way, if you went back to 1980 Reagan, Thatcher times, and you looked at capital as a proportion of GDP in the US, or indeed anywhere else for that matter, and labor as a proportion, labor started to go down then, capital started to go up.
No question.
That's the fundamental.
No question. We can talk about the policies and we can indict people for the policies, but
one other thing I want to
what happened, so we have to fix it, actually. We can't stay where it is, because if it gets worse, it's going to hurt everybody. It's not just going to hurt those people. Trust me on that.